Hi kids, this is Miss Dion, and today I'm going to read a traditional American Indian story from American Indians Myths and Legends. And so I am a mixed racial person, and that means that one of the races that I mix with is Native American. And one of the tribes that is a part of my ethnicity is the Jicarilla Apache. And so today I've chosen a story from the Jicarilla Apache tribe. And the name of the story is the Jicarilla Genesis. In the beginning, the earth was covered with water, and all the living things were below in the underworld. Then people could talk. The animals could talk, the trees could talk, and the rocks could talk. It was dark in the underworld, and eagle plumes were used for torches. The people and the animals that go about by day wanted more light, but the night animals, the bear, the panther, and the owl, wanted darkness. After a long argument, they agreed to play the thimble and button game, and if the day animals won, there would be light. But if the night animals won, it would always be dark. The game began. The magpie and the quail, who loved the light and have sharp eyes, watched until they could see the button through the thin wood of the hollow stick that served as a thimble. This told the people where the button was, and in the first round the people won. The morning star came out, and the black bear ran and hid in the darkness. They played again, and the people won. It grew bright in the east, and the brown bear ran and hid in a dark place. They played a third time, and the people won. It grew brighter in the east, and the mountain lion slunk away into the darkness. They played a fourth time, and again the people won. The sun came up in the east, and it was day. And the owl flew away and hid. Even though it was light now, the people still didn't see much because they were underground. But the sun was high enough to look through a hole and discover that there was another world. This is Earth. He told the people, and they all wanted to go up there. They built 4 mounds to help them reach the upper world. In the east, they mounded the soil and planted it with all kinds of fruits and berries, and that were colored black. In the south, they heaped up another mound and planted all kinds of fruits that were blue. In the west, they built a mound that they planted with yellow fruits. In the north, they planted the mound with fruits of variegated colors. And the mounds grew into mountains, and the bushes blossomed, fruited, and produced ripened berries. One day, 2 girls climbed up to pick berries and gather flowers to tie in their hair. Suddenly, the mountains stopped growing. The people wondered, and they sent Tornado to learn the cause. Tornado went everywhere and searched into every corner, and at last he found the 2 girls and brought them back to their people. But the mountains did not grow anymore, and this is why a boy stops growing when he goes with a woman for the first time. If he never did, he would continue to grow taller. The mountains had stopped growing while their tops were still a long way from the upper world. So the people tried laying feathers crosswise to make a ladder, but the feathers broke under weight. The people made a second ladder of larger feathers, but again they were too weak. They made a third ladder of eagle feathers, but again they were too weak. But even these would not bear much weight. Then a buffalo came and offered his right horn, and others also contributed their right horns. The horns were strong and straight, and with them the people were able to climb up through the hole to the surface of the earth. But the weight of all these humans bent the buffalo horns, which have been curved ever since. Now the people fastened the sun and the moon with spider threads so that they could not get away, and sent them up into the sky to give light. And since water covered the whole earth, 4 storms went to roll the waters away. The black storm blew to the east and rolled up the waters into the eastern ocean. The blue storm blew to the south and rolled up the waters in that direction. The yellow storm rolled up to the waters in the west, and the colored storm went to the north and rolled up the waters there. So the tempest formed the 4 oceans and the east, the south, the west, and the north. Having rolled up the waters and the storms returned to where the people were waiting, grouped around the mouth of the hole. The polecat first went out, when the ground was still soft and his legs sank in the black mud and have been black ever since. They sent the tornado to bring him back, because it wasn't time. The badger went out, but he too sank in the mud and got black legs, and tornado called him back. Then the beaver went out, walking through the mud and swimming through the water, and at once began to build a dam to save the water still remaining in pools. Then he did not return. Tornado found him and asked why he had not come back. Because I wanted to save the water for the people to drink, said the beaver. Good, said Tornado, and they went back together. Again the people waited until at last they sent out the gray crow to see if the time had come. The crow found the earth dry, and many dead frogs, fish, and reptiles lying on the ground. He began picking out their eyes, and did not return until Tornado was sent after him. The people were angry when they found he had been eating carrion, and they changed his color to black. But now the earth was all dry except for 4 oceans and the lake in the center where the beaver had dammed up the waters. All the people came up. They traveled east until they had arrived at the ocean. Then they turned south until they had come again to the ocean. Then they went to the west to the ocean, and then they turned north. And as they went, each tribe stopped where it wanted to. But the Jicarillas continued to circle around the hole where they had come up from the underworld. 3 times they went around it. When the ruler became displeased and asked them where they wished to stop, they said, "In the middle of the earth." So he led them to a place very near Taos and left them. And there near the Taos Indians, the Jicarillas made their home. This tale is based on the tale reported by James Mooney in the 1890s. I hope you enjoyed it.